we are beyond disappointed with the outcome today. This should have been the death penalty, 100%. 17 people were brutally murdered on February 14, 2018. I sent my daughter to school, and she was shot 8 times. I am so beyond disappointed and frustrated with this outcome. I do not understand. I just don't understand this.
I'm disgusted with our legal system. I'm disgusted with those jurors. I'm disgusted with the system. That you can allow 17 dead and 17 others shot and wounded and not give the death penalty. What do we have the death penalty for? What is the purpose of it? You set a precedent today. You set a precedent for the next mass killing, and nothing happens to you. You'll get life in jail. I'm sorry. That is not okay. As a country, we need to stand up and say that's not okay. I pray that that animal suffers every day of his life in jail. And he should have a short life. What were you thinking? This isn't about your personal beliefs. It's not about your religious values. It's about the heinous crime that was committed. There is no recovery. Jail's about rehabbing someone. There is no rehabbing. We have a jury system for a reason, and they let us down. They gave their personal beliefs, but they didn't go by the evidence. There was no mitigating factors. I'm sorry. Any mitigation was disproven clearly in the court. There's no reason. And if there is a reason, then why are we allowing people to just go randomly kill others? Is that what we're telling our society? But there's mitigating factors, a lot of hogwash.
Answer me why, how, that my son be shot by this animal like this. People need to see this. This is real. This is not a game. This is not a video. This is not a TV or a movie. This is real. The last thing my son saw was the gunman aiming at him.
My aunt has changed forever. She suffers from PTSD and she constantly has hyperarousal. She cannot function normally. She cannot sleep, the constant insomnia. And we came here and thought that we could get a little comfort for my family, but no, they just pushed them further.
After spending months and months listening and hearing testimonies and looking at the murderer, his composure, I believe justice was not done. The wrong verdict was given out today.
If not now the death penalty, then when? When? And there is no excuse, nothing the defense said. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. It shouldn't have been a case at all. No excuse for letting this piece of garbage breathe.
The viciousness of what was done at Marjory Stoneman Douglas, I don't know how you can walk away. They saw pictures and videos that I haven't seen. We heard testimony from the doctors and the medical examiners about the absolute cruelty and indifference to the victims that the killer showed. I don't know how you can see that as a juror and walk away.
It's pretty unreal that nobody paid attention to the facts of this case, that nobody can remember who a victim is and what they look like. I know every day because I see my beautiful daughter's face around our home in my dreams. And I miss her very much. And the monster that killed them gets to live another day. While this sentence fails to punish the perpetrator to the fullest extent of the law, it will not stop the mission of the families of Stand with Parkland to effect positive change at the federal, state, and local level.
And in prison, I hope and pray he receives the kind of mercy from prisoners that he showed to my daughter and the 16 others. He is going to go to prison, and he will die in prison. And I will be waiting to read the news on that. He should have received the death sentence today. There was no mercy for a murder that was planned over a long period of time, and that was, sadly, as proven by the state, executed.
I'm just completely devastated and shocked by this verdict. To me, what it says to me, what it says to my family, what it says to the other families is that his life meant more than the 17 that were murdered and the 17 that were shot and the thousands of people in that school, in that community that are terrorized and traumatized every single day. How do you say, yes, it's cruel, that it was heinous, that it was planned, and we all agree on that, but oh, he might have had a mental illness or he had trouble growing up. I have a son with special needs. I have a son that checked all of those boxes, or a lot of those boxes, that the shooter did as well. And you know what? My son's not a murderer.
And if this was not the most perfect death penalty case, then why do we have the death penalty at all? There's no doubt about the fact that the verdict should have been the death penalty.